What's up guys, it's in, it's gone, and today we'll be going into farm system rankings of all 30 teams prior to the 2024 trade deadline and draft. Farm systems represent the long-term health of an organization. Teams with a good farm system and organizational depth are more likely to have good young replacements given an injury or loss in free agency, as well as the assets to make a trade for a veteran when they see fit. Meanwhile, teams with poor farm systems are more likely to be more top-heavy, and may be more inclined to trade veterans to replenish organizational depth. Rebuilding teams can look towards farm system rankings to see how close they are to a window of contention, as teams such as the Orioles, Padres, Cubs, and Astros all had elite-level farm systems upon ending their rebuilds and going into contention. However, keep in mind that although a team may have a poor farm system, this does not mean that a team is destined for a rebuild, and it can be remedied through smart drafting and trades. Overall, having a good farm system is important, and these rankings look to give an organizational report of the team's health over the long term. This video will look to rank the farm systems, as well as give a prospect who has been having a monster season for the club, looking to become the next star on the Major League team. But before we get onto the video, could you guys please hit the like and subscribe button? Currently, only 3% of people who watch my videos are subscribed, so if y'all do, not only would it help me grow my channel, but it also encourages me to create more videos like this one for you guys. And without further ado, let's get on to the video. The Los Angeles Angels, after making a flurry of trades last trade deadline in a desperate attempt to make the postseason to appeal to Ohtani, ultimately failed in their quest. And to add insult to injury, they actually gave up a ton of depth and high-end talent in their farm system. Those moves, combined with their propensity to call up prospects relatively fast, means that their young talent at a minor league level is lacking. Among their entire farm system, there's just not a lot there. Their top guys like outfielder Nelson Rada and middle infielder Kyron Paris, who I've been higher on for some time, have simply not been hitting that well to start the season. As for all the pitchers, they're all in the lower levels of the minors and are not destined to be huge strikeout guys, limiting their long-term ceiling as middle-of-the-rotation starters at best. Out of all their players, keep an eye out for Davis Daniel to potentially make a name for himself in the Angels' rotation or bullpen. He has some high spin rates that make up for lower end velocity, and is one of the few guys on the farm to strike out batters at a nice rate. He won't walk that many batters and limits the long ball as well. As of this year, he's posted 49 strikeouts and 47 in a third innings to only 15 walks. However, last year, he struck out 42 batters in only 29 innings to the tune of a 2.15 ERA across 3 levels. So, there is that strikeout stuff with Davis, who might carve a career in the major leagues at 26 years old. The Astros farm system is likely still reeling from the loss of picks in the 2020 and 2021 draft. Coupled with the promotions of Yainer Diaz and Hunter Brown in 2023, as well as the trade with the Mets for Justin Verlander, they have considerably weakened their own farm system as a whole over the past couple of years. However, unlike the Angels, they're still holding on to a couple of solid prospects in their own ranks. Jacob Melton projects to be a solid corner outfielder with an around league average bat for his position, and Spencer Arrighetti has shown some promise for the major league club. Despite a 6.93 ERA, 43 strikeouts and 37 innings of work is a good showing of how Arrighetti's stuff plays at the big league level. He can hopefully turn into a middle-of-the-rotation starter. Outside of those two main prospects, one player that I want to highlight is Joey Loperfido, who made the case for the Astros club with a 1.1 OPS in AAA, and has held his own now for the Major League club as a utility man, posting an 800 OPS, albeit in a small sample size. Over the course of the last year, the Marlins saw their top prospect in Yuri Perez graduate, as well as the regression of many of their top hitting prospects. As a result, their rankings in this farm system are one of the lowest in the league. They're mainly held together by 3 pretty good pitching prospects who, knowing the Marlins, will likely turn out to be very good young promising pitchers that will be traded away at a later date. But the one I like the most is Max Meyer, who posts a fastball that can touch triple digits and a wipeout slider to play off of that. But there's also 2023 first-round pick Noble Meyer and 35th overall selection Thomas White, both of whom are in the lower levels of the minor leagues but have arsenals similar to Max in that they miss bats and can turn out to be front-of-the-rotation starters. However, on the hitting side, things are not looking bright, as 2022 first-round pick Jacob Berry, who many saw as the complete hitter that the Marlins needed, has never posted an OPS of 710 at any level, and has struggled this year, batting 155, 215, 207 in AA. However, look out for outfielder Mark Coley, a player in High A. He has immense power and, from the looks of it, a great eye, with a 400 on-base percentage and 515 slugging. He is also a Gold Glove level defender in right field, so the Marlins may have found a diamond in the rough with their 17th round selection in 2023. Not much has changed for the Toronto Blue Jays since the last time I made this list, but the fact that none of their once top prospects have really made any steps in their development due to injuries and underperformance have been slightly concerning. Ricky Tiedemann has been a top prospect in the Blue Jays system for a long time now, and has yet to truly deliver that healthy dominant season to truly showcase his potential. Even this year, he had to be placed on the IL in late April, and has only pitched 8 innings this year. And as for their other top prospects, 2023 first-rounder Arjun Nimmala has been underwhelming, posting an 586 OPS in 29 games in A-ball, and 2022 first-round pick Brandon Barriera has only pitched an inning and a third due to Tommy John surgery, drawing questions about his long-term potential. Through all the injuries and underperformance for the Blue Jays, the one player I want to highlight is Orelvis Martinez, who has hit 12 home runs for the AAA Buffalo Bisons in 45 games, and looks to be an immense power-hitting threat for the big league team at the second base position, similar to Marcus Semien. The 2023 and 2024 seasons saw a ton of Oakland graduates, including Tyler Soderstrom, Ken Waldichuk, Estuary Ruiz, Zach Geloff, Kyle Mueller, and Mason Miller. After the promotion of all that talent, there's simply not a ton left for the A's, who will look for more smart drafting and trades to rebuild the farm system. They are led by Jacob Wilson, a middle infielder who may be one of the more underrated prospects in the game. The 2023 first-round pick, Wilson has already made it up to AAA at 22 years old across 2 levels this year. Wilson is having a monster season, posting a .438 batting average, .458 on-base percentage, and slugging .652 for a 1.1 OPS and double in AAA. Known as a pure hitter, Wilson has only struck out in 10.7% of his at-bats, but also has only walked twice in 112 at-bats. But the low walk rate is typical for a young hitter, and he will hopefully adjust as Wilson gains more experience. I have no doubts that Wilson's bat will translate to be well above average in the major leagues, but I do have some doubts about his long-term position at shortstop, and I see him more as a second baseman. The last time I made one of these videos was at the beginning of the 2023 season, and the Atlanta Braves were dead last. So despite the losses of Braden Shoemake and Jared Schuster to the White Sox and Cole Phillips to the Mariners, they've actually risen in these rankings, all thanks to their drafting and development of young starting pitchers. AJ Smith-Shawver was one of the biggest risers over the course of the past year, thanks to a fastball-slider combination that posted a 2.15 ERA over the course of multiple levels last year, and 2023 first-round pick Hurston Waldrep and 2021 second-round pick Spencer Schwellenbach both have big fastballs and hold ERAs under 3 in Double-A this year. To cap off this pitching fiasco, Owen Murphy looks to have finally figured it out in High A this year. At 20 years old, Murphy looks ready to move on to Double-A to join Waldrep and Schwellenbach, posting a 1.54 ERA in 7 starts, and 60 strikeouts in only 41 innings. I really like how this farm system is playing out in tandem with the Braves' core, and that they are strong in pitching to aid a lineup oozing with star power and depth in the long term. And unlike the Braves, who have seen massive turnover and breakout prospects alike, the Orioles meanwhile have been pretty stagnant, and that has resulted in a gradual increase since the last time I made this video. There's really nothing that's out of the ordinary with the Orioles farm system. 2023 first-round pick Blake Mitchell has been solid, progressing up to lower levels of the minor leagues, and they have a bevy of decent prospects in the mid to lower levels of the minor leagues with solid potential. However, the player that I think really dictates the state of this farm system is outfielder Gavin Cross. Once a top prospect, the 2022 first-rounder has had 2 subpar seasons, causing him to be written off almost entirely. However, he has broken out this year, hitting .303, .381, and slugging .452 for an .833 OPS in Double-A. If he can continue this up, he can regain his top prospect status and join the Royals as soon as the end of this year to add another impact bat to a hopeful playoff team. The Phillies are another one of these contending teams who have not seen that much change regarding their farm system as a whole. Andrew Painter was once a crown jewel in the Phillies farm system after posting a 2.15 ERA in 165 strikeouts in 105 innings. However, an elbow injury early into the 2023 season, coupled with the Tommy John surgery, means that he will not throw a professional pinch until 2025, generating long-term questions about his durability as a starter. With questions surrounding Painter, coupled with an underperforming Mick Abel in AAA, with 26 walks in 35 innings, has led to infielder Aiden Miller taking over the spot for the Phillies as their top prospect. The 2023 first-round pick was known mostly for his power when the Phillies drafted him, but has since shown a more balanced hitting approach for the team, hitting .313, .414, .536 for a .950 OPS in Single-A. It's still really early for Miller's career, but the initial results are encouraging, and he should be moved up to Double-A relatively soon to showcase his talents there. These are one of the rankings in which I believe is a good representation of their rebuild. The Colorado Rockies being here means that they're still not very close towards competing at a high level sustainably. Their top prospect, starting pitcher Chase Dollander, has top-of-the-line talent to be an ace for the Rockies, but is still in high A and needs a couple more years to mature. Their other top prospect, middle infielder Adael Amador, looks to be an average-hitting second base prospect who will look to take over Brendan Rodgers' spot in some time. However, he has simply not been hitting this year, posting a 179 batting average and slugging .271 in 39 games, although he does get on base. Outside of the two, the majority of their farm system consists of older players who are depth pieces at best, yet one of these players is challenging the Rockies for a spot is 22-year-old catcher Drew Romo, a switch-hitting catcher hitting .350 and slugging .561 in Double-A. For a prospect mainly known for his defense, it's encouraging to see how the bat has come along, and he looks like the successor to Elias Diaz. There is some talent here and there, but right now they just don't have enough high-end talent to be considered among the top farm systems. However, I do believe that this year's draft will be a turning point among all of that, and to consider the Rockies as a top 15 to top 10 farm system in just a couple of months. The Red Sox, despite the losses of Tristan Casas and Ceddanne Rafaela, still have a nice blend of position players among their ranks to vault them up over some of these teams. Marcelo Meyer, after struggling mightily in 2023, has rebounded in 2024, looking to regain his top prospect status by hitting .294, .341, .482 for an .823 OPS. The 2021 first-rounder has been stuck in Double-A for some time now, but these nice numbers at only 21 years old is encouraging for his long-term outlook as a star shortstop. Outside of Meyer, I want to highlight 2023 first-round pick Kyle Teel, a catcher out of Virginia. In Double-A this year, Teel is hitting very well, posting a .287, .391, .434 slash line through 34 games with 3 home runs at 22 years old. Teel is progressing faster than I initially expected when I scouted him in the draft last year, and I can see him debut for the Major League squad as soon as next year. Unfortunately for the Rangers, the combination of poor performances and graduations have caused their farm system to fall pretty dramatically over the course of the last few months. For starters, top prospect Evan Carter has graduated, and the lackluster start of Wyatt Langford has cooled his stock down a little bit, but I still don't doubt that he won't be a solid contributor in some time now. Kumar Rocker has still been recovering from Tommy John, where he'll be 24 years old now in high A upon returning. And their other top prospects, shortstop Sebastian Walcott and right-hand pitcher Brock Porter, have been underwhelming upon being promoted to high A. Not much has gone right for the Rangers in their farm system, but one player that has impressed me has been Jack Leiter, who despite being lit up in 3 starts for the Major League club, has shown strides of improvement in the minors, posting a 2.37 ERA in AAA and holding opponents to a 159 batting average while also limiting his walks. Jumping from the AL champion Rangers to the NL champion Diamondbacks, the farm system has similarly suffered a litany of injuries, promotions, and underperformances. Top prospects Corbin Carroll and Brandon Pfaadt have graduated last year, taking them off this list, and Jordan Lawler had a great season in the minor leagues, but a thumb injury suffered in minor league spring training this year has caused him to not play a game yet. Meanwhile, Drew Jones has also been pretty middling, especially considering that he was a high first-round pick in 2022, who is still in Single-A thanks to injuries and underperformance. Their other top prospects, Tommy Troy and Yu-Min Lin, have each suffered injuries, taking them out months that have also stunted their growth. Amidst all the turmoil, a bright spot for this team has been corner infielder Davison De Los Santos, who's currently batting an absolutely insane .365, .422, .651 across Double and Triple-A. De Los Santos, at one point a Rule 5 pick for the Guardians who has returned back to the D-backs, looks to be a potential impact bat in a corner infield position as soon as this year. The last time I made this list, the Guardians were a top 5 farm system. However, the combination of timely graduations from Bo Naylor, Tanner Bibee, and Gavin Williams, combined with the injuries to their star prospects, have knocked this farm system down considerably. Like Andrew Painter, Daniel Espino was once considered a top right-hand pitching prospect in the league, but injuries have caused him to not throw a professional inning since 2022, and he'll be out until 2025. When he comes back, it'll be seen if his triple-digit fastball is still there, and there's also some reliever risk with him as well. Their other top prospect, 2022 first-rounder Chase DeLauder, has been underwhelming at Double-A this year, posting an OPS below 600. However, the player I would like to highlight here is switch-hitting outfielder Jason Chourio, the younger brother of rising star Jackson Chourio. Jason has a great eye at the plate and developing power. At only 19, he is hitting .284, .418, and slugging .403. I see more power developing as he gets older, and if he can keep his advanced plate discipline for a guy of his age, he can turn into a complete hitter and star for the Guardians. The Giants have seen their promotion of longtime top prospect, left-hander pitcher Kyle Harrison and Casey Smith. but steady development among their ranks has maintained what has been an okay farm system. Shortstop Marco Luciano is showcasing all of his talent at the major league stage so far, batting .391, .462, .565 for a 1.027 OPS. Although there is likely some regression, Luciano is making a strong case for the starting shortstop job long term. 2023 first-round picks and 2023 second-round picks Bryce Eldridge and Walker Martin respectively are each progressing nicely through the lower levels of the minor leagues as power-hitting infield prospects. But the player I want to highlight is 2022 sixth-round pick Hayden Birdsong. Birdsong used to sit in the low 90s but has since bumped it up into the mid-90s, touching 98 with his fastball. His numbers subsequently improved, posting a 3.31 ERA in 2023 and having his best season yet in 2024, posting a 2.21 ERA in AA this season in 8 starts. I project him to be a volume number 3 starter, but his rise is impressive and he could blow through expectations. The Cardinals are one of those teams who have been decimated down on the farm because of graduations. Last year and this year, they've had Jordan Walker, Mason Wynn, Alec Burleson, and Ivan Herrera all graduate, and these graduations would have bumped down any farm system into the bottom half. However, the combination of trades and development amongst their young players have kept this farm afloat. Their 2 prospects that they got from the Jordan Montgomery trade instantly become 2 of their top prospects in their entire system, in Thomas Segesi and Tekoa Roby. And although they have been underwhelming in 2024, they are only 22 years old and in the upper levels of the minor leagues, so there is an adjustment period to be expected. Furthermore, Victor Scott II, despite struggling at the major leagues level, still projects to be a prototypical leadoff hitter and great defender in center field with speed for days. However, their top prospect in Tink Hence is beginning to turn some heads. At AA this year and only 21 years old, Hence posted a 2.76 ERA in 9 starts, striking out 59 batters in 45 innings. AA is where young pitchers go to struggle, and for Hence to be posting his best season of his career, it's very encouraging towards his long-term development as a top-of-the-line starter. The Mariners, after having built a historically good rotation top-down, have since focused most of their capital on position players, and it shows, with their farm system having perhaps one of the best congregations of hitters and one of the worst for pitchers. They are led by first-rounders Cole Young and Harry Ford, who were 20 and 21 respectively, advancing up the minor league level slowly and are in AA at the moment. 2023 first-rounder Cole Emerson has impressed in Single-A, showcasing his eye at the plate with an on-base percentage over .400, and international signee Lorenzo Montez may be what the Mariners have been looking for this whole time. Although in Single-A, the 19-year-old is hitting .314, .417, .509 for a .926 OPS. Known as a pure hitter, Montez is showing it at a young age, and projects to be a great hitter to the likes of Yordan Alvarez, a complete bat that the Mariners have been yearning for such a long time. The Cincinnati Reds still have some young pieces in their ranks to join the young and exciting team, with the main piece in Noelvi Marte ready to make a big impact on the club following his suspension. Outside of Marte, the Reds still have a couple of young pieces, although many are not ready to reach the majors until after the end of this season. For starters, there's prize pitching prospect Rhett Lauder, their 2023 first-round pick, who has made it all the way up to AA this year. Although he has struggled a little bit, albeit in a small sample size, the first-round pick still has the talent to be a top-of-the-line starter for the Reds. Their other top pitching prospects have also struggled in the higher levels of the minor leagues, Cole Phillips and Chase Petty being respectively. However, despite their struggles amongst their high-end pitching prospects, one player who has impressed me is Julian Aguilar. Throughout his career in the minor leagues, Aguilar has never ended a season with an ERA below 3.5, and the Reds made an aggressive call-up for Aguilar to AA last year, at 21 to mixed results. However, that added experience has now done wonders for him. He's posted a 2.72 ERA in 9 starts, and he can be a middle-of-the-rotation starter that the Reds desperately need in just a few years. I still think that the Rays have a pretty solid farm system, despite all the graduations and trades that have been made over the past couple of years. For starters, Junior Caminero has been a top prospect for some time now, and although he's been underwhelming this year at AAA, he has the track record and performance to still remain one of the best prospects in the game. 2022 first-rounder Xavier Isaac and 2021 first-rounder Carson Williams are both having great seasons for their respective ball clubs, and should see their stocks continue to rise as they advance up their ranks in the minor league system. 2023 first-rounder Braden Taylor has been steady in high A, and although he's not been exceeding expectations, he's definitely been solid. The player I want to highlight, though, is outfield prospect Chandler Simpson. A 23-year-old in AA, in 115 games last year, he stole 94 bases. This year, he's stolen 39 bases in 38 games, while also hitting an absolutely insane 376, 437, 389. A contact-first bat, Simpson has tremendous value on the base paths and speed to burn in center field to be a valuable player for the Rays in just a couple of years. The New York Mets used last year's trade deadline to acquire one of the deepest farm systems in all of baseball. However, their lack of high-end prospects coupled with the underperformance has caused them to fall to 12th. Both of their top prospects, 2022 first-rounder Jet Williams and Drew Gilbert, have suffered injuries that took them out for a lengthy period of time and are only now just getting back. Meanwhile, 2023 breakout prospect Ryan Clifford and prize trade acquisition Luis Angel Acuna have both been underwhelming upon their retrospective call-ups into higher leagues. Same goes for 2023 first-rounder Colin Howick upon his promotion to Single-A. Out of all of their top prospects, the only two that have been impressive are the ones who've joined the major league stage in Christian Scott and Ronnie Mauricio. Scott posted an ERA around 3 upon his promotion to the major league club and has held his own there, posting a 3.97 ERA in his first 22 innings. Meanwhile, Mauricio has posted an OPS above 850 in AAA before being promoted to the big leagues and has also held his own there. The next couple of months will be very telling for this Mets system. If the two end up graduating and the rest continue to be underwhelming, the Mets could fall into the late teens or early 20s if things don't turn around for some of their top prospects. The San Diego Padres have made two massive trades in the last couple of months for Luis Arraez and Dylan Cease, but they still continue to have a better than average farm system thanks to the use of international signings as well as good drafting. Their prize prospect is Ethan Salas, a 17-year-old who's reached as high as AA last year and played in spring training this year. He currently resides in High A, where he looks a little bit overmatched at times but still has showcased a good eye and ball skills at catcher. After signing Salas the year prior, who was the top international prospect, they did it again by signing Leodalis de Vries, who is also 17 and in Single-A. And next to their two top international signees, they have a pair of high-end pitching prospects as well, in 20-year-olds Dylan Lesko and Robbie Snelling, with Snelling already being in AA at such a young age and holding his own there. Amongst all of their young talent in the lower levels of the minor leagues, they also have some older prospects balling out in the higher levels of their system. One of them is outfield prospect Tirso Orelnas, a 24-year-old in AAA batting .296, .364, .489 for an .853 OPS. He profiles to be a slugging corner outfield type of player. I'm a tad bit higher on the Nationals farm system than most, and I believe that they have multiple impact prospects waiting in the wings. They are led by James Wood, who in his part is looking like the superstar of the future and potentially the best prospect in all of baseball. In AAA, at only 21 years old, Wood is hitting .355, .465, and .596 for an 1.1 OPS and 9 home runs in 45 games. At 6'7", Wood represents another freak prospect with excellent bat-to-ball skills and a great eye for someone of his power and strength. And while their other top prospects, Dylan Cruz, Yohandy Morales, and Brady House, have all been underwhelming in AA, the norm is for younger players to struggle upon their promotion from High A to AA, and for their retrospective talents, I think that it's only a matter of time before they turn things around. However, the same can't be said for 2022 first-rounder Elijah Green. After struggling immensely in A-ball last year, he has continued to do so, posting an OPS of .605 and batting under .200 in his first 38 games. Green is still oozing with talent, but some serious adjustments must be made in order to showcase his full potential that teams saw in the 2022 draft. The Pirates have slowly built a steady, underrated farm system through the years of high-end draft picks, and it's beginning to show fruit. Of course, they're led by Paul Skeens, who many see as the best pitcher in all of baseball, but they also have a bevy of other pitching prospects that could add considerable depth to a potential Pirates playoff push down the line. Bubba Chandler, Anthony Solamento, Thomas Harrington, and Braxton Ashcraft all currently reside in AA and look to join the Pirates rotation down the road, with Ashcraft specifically posting a nice 3.72 ERA in 40 innings with the club. On the hitting side, they are led by Tamar Johnson, who is a pretty complete hitter with excellent plate discipline and power alike. However, he has been struggling this year with consistent contact, but still has walked almost as much as he struck out, the top Pirates hitting prospect. The Minnesota Twins have a deep farm system with some high-end talent as well. They are led by 2023 first-rounder Walker Jenkins and 2022 first-rounder Brooks Lee. Jenkins, a raw prospect selected 5th overall out of high school in the 2023 draft, is just beginning his ascent up the minor league ladder. Is just joining A-ball at 19 years old, very prototypical for someone his age. Meanwhile, Lee, who has been rehabbing an injury, is just about ready to join the AAA team for the Twins with hopes of a potential major league call-up pretty soon. However, as I said before, the farm system is deep as well, with a multitude of prospects who I want to highlight. For starters, there's 21-year-old outfielder Emmanuel Rodriguez, who's slugging over 600 in AA with 8 home runs in 36 games. Right-hander David Festa has held an ERA under 3 and struck out 60 batters in only 39 innings, also looking to join the major league team very soon. And Simeon Woods Richardson has had an ERA above 6 in AAA, but in the majors has impressed, posting an ERA under 3 for the ball club in limited starts. Overall, this farm system has shown a lot of promise in a very limited sample size. The Detroit Tigers are finally beginning to see some light at the end of the tunnel when it comes to their rebuild, and have a quality group of prospects that they can look to add to a young wave of players that are joining the major league club. For starters, there's 2021 first-rounder Jackson Jobe, who despite being used sparingly may be the best right-handed pitching prospect in the entire game, holding opponents to a 129 batting average in AA this season at only 21 years old. 2023 first-rounder Max Clark has so far lived up to expectations, batting .277 with an on-base percentage of .388 with 14 stolen bases in 38 games as a 19-year-old in Single A. And Jace Young is having a monster season in AAA, batting .274, .379, .506, and challenging the Tigers for a spot on the major league team. There's a bevy of other prospects waiting in the wings of the upper levels of the farm system as well, one of whom being Dalton Dingler, a glove-first catcher who seemed to turn the corner with his bat, batting .284 and slugging .43 in 33 games with AAA, looking like the potential long-term catching option for Detroit. What this Dodgers farm system lacks in high-end prospects that we've been accustomed to over the past decade, they've made up with considerable depth to the likes I've never seen, especially in the pitching category. The Dodgers AAA affiliate in Oklahoma City is extremely good due to their sheer quantity of high-end pitching talent that they have. Nick Frasso, River Ryan, Kyle Hurt, and Landon Knack are all high-end pitching prospects who are ready to contribute on the big league stage. The only issue is finding space for all of them. As a result, they are pitching extremely well in AAA, with most of them having ERAs under 4. On the position player side, they still have a bevy of good prospects. Dalton Rushing, widely considered a steal when he was drafted in the second round in the 2022 draft, has continued to impress, slugging over 500 in AA this year as a 23-year-old catcher. Josude Puala was a top international signee who has steadily moved through the minor league system, and Austin Gother, a true utility man, has impressed in both AA and AAA with an OPS near 900, enough to warrant a major league call-up at some point. The Chicago White Sox leap up these rankings thanks to a combination of development and trades. The prospects acquired in the Dylan Cease trade, Drew Thorpe, Samuel Zavala, Jairo Iarte, and Steven Wilson, coupled with the players acquired in the Lucas Giolito trade, have given this farm system considerable depth to add to the high-end talent that they already have, being shortstop Colson Montgomery and left-handed pitcher Noah Schultz. And while Montgomery has faced a little bit of a wall in AAA this year, with an underwhelming OPS of 724, Noah Schultz has continued to impress, moving up to AA this year at only 20 years old, holding an ERA under 4 while striking out 47 batters in only 31 innings. Schultz has all the makings of an elite starting pitcher, and he'll hope to be joined by Drew Thorpe, the main piece in the Cease trade, who's impressed in this season in the White Sox organization, posting an ERA of 1.5 in 9 starts, also in AA. He'll be moved to AAA in a little while, with a hopeful major league call-up near the end of the season or the beginning of next season. The New York Yankees have steadily built up a very solid farm system over the years, mostly thanks to their abilities to sign quality international players and develop middle-round draftees. Of course, they are led by the Martian Jason Dominguez, an impact bat and switch hitter who will graduate by the end of this year, and who is also still rehabbing from Tommy John surgery. Outside of him, there's Spencer Jones, a 6'6" behemoth who crushes baseballs but struggles with strikeouts, and international signees Roderick Arias and Everson Pereira, who have shown flashes at times but have been inconsistent following their retrospective call-ups. On the pitching side, their top prospect Chase Hampton has experienced some injuries, but one player who has impressed me has been lefty Brock Selfridge. At one point, projected to be a low first-rounder, Selfridge was taken in the 3rd round of the 2021 draft by the Yankees. Selfridge aggressively was put in AA to begin the year and has blossomed there, striking out 47 batters in 44 innings to the tune of a 3.07 ERA. I know it's still early, but Selfridge has the stuff to be a Yankees top pitching prospect and a potential number 2 or 3 starter in a rotation. Into the top 3 now, and our first one is the Milwakke Brewers, who despite losing Jackson Chourio to rookie status, still managed to hold the top 3 farm system thanks to their high-end pitching talent and depth aplenty. For starters, Jacob Mizorowski may be the most nasty pitcher in all of minor league baseball. In Double A this year, he's holding a 2.55 ERA, holding opponents to a 171 batting average against, and striking out over 11 batters per 9 innings. Robert Gasser joins him on this list and has held an ERA under 2 for the surprise Brewers on the Major League team, and has definitely impressed, albeit in a short sample size, is due for some regression. On the hitting side, they have 2 prospects ready to join the ranks as well, in Jefferson Caro and Tyler Black. Black has already made his debut for the team and has had a nice season overall, posting an OPS above 860 in AAA, and while Caro needs a shoulder surgery and will be out for the 2024 season, he is still a talented all-around catching prospect ready to impress in 2025. Coming in at number 2 is the Chicago Cubs, who may have even challenged the Orioles if it weren't for the graduation of PCA. Nonetheless, they have impressively bolstered this farm system through outstanding drafting and development. Their prized prospect is Cade Horton, a 2022 first-round pick with an electric slider. At 22 years old, he's already in AAA and has struck out 20 batters in 17 innings of work there. The Cubs are being aggressive with Horton, and the added experience at such a young age will likely help him out in the long run. On the hitting side, they have both high-end talent and depth on their major league stage. Owen Cassey is only 21 years old in AAA and has an OPS above 840, and 2023 first-round pick Matt Shaw is already in AA as well. And the player I want to highlight, former top prospect Brennan Davis, is having a monster rebound season in AAA, posting an OPS above 1,000. And while there's no one standout prospect from the system, the litany of quality prospects and breakout stars showcases the system as one of the best and deepest farm systems in all of baseball. And while the Cubs give them a nice run for their money, the Orioles are still the best farm system in all of baseball. Despite all of their graduations, of course, they have the number 1 prospect in all of baseball in Jackson Holliday, who despite looking a bit overmatched in his first stint with the big league club, he is still only 20 years old and tearing up AAA, posting an OPS of 877. Outside of him, Kobe Mayo, Samuel Basallo, Heston Kierstead, and Enrique Bradfield Jr. would all be one of the top prospects on the majority of other teams, but are now just pieces towards an overall outstanding farm system in Baltimore. One player that may get lost amongst all these players is middle infield prospect Connor Norby. This guy can hit, and he's hit at every level, and this season has been his best one yet. At AAA, he's hit 296, 378, 524 for a 902 OPS and 9 home runs in 45 games. He's also a very versatile player, playing second base and corner outfield, so the Orioles should be able to find a spot for him as soon if he continues to produce. Thank you guys so much for watching this long video. Remember, if you enjoyed, please like, share, and subscribe, and comment down below any video ideas. I have a couple ideas for individual teams, so if you would like me to do a team, your favorite team, let me know in the comments down below. But if you have any other ideas, just also let me know in the comments down below. And I'll see you guys in the next one.